can see our presentation.
Yes, that's perfect. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us today at the National Coalition of 100 Black Women Dallas Metropolitan Chapter as we present Beyond the Paycheck, Building Assets and Generational Legacy. I want to encourage you guys as you listen to this presentation to please jot down your questions. There is going to be a lot of information shared with you today. We definitely want to know all about our money, what to do with our money, and how to build that generational legacy. So we want to make sure that you get your questions answered while you are here with us. So please make sure you jot those questions down. So today we'll have some welcome remarks from our president. We'll talk about the session purpose. We'll have an introduction of our presenter and then our presentation. And like I said, immediately after, we will have that Q&A session for you. And then we'll go through some quick announcements and information for you. So just hang on with us today as we go through our presentation. You can go to the next slide. Can you go to the next slide and then we'll come back to the president's remarks? Perfect. Thank you so much. So we're going to ask everyone to mute if you can as you come in. Can you please mute for us? The purpose of this session is to empower women to move beyond simply earning income. We want to make sure that you could begin to build sustainable wealth. Participants will gain practical insights into financial confidence, asset building, and wealth strategies such as investing, ownership, and intentional financial planning. This conversation is designed to shift mindsets around money, provide actionable tools, and encourage women to take meaningful steps towards long-term financial stability and generational wealth. So at this time, I want to introduce our president of National Coalition of 100 Black Women Dallas, Madam President.
Good evening, everyone. I hope you can hear me. It's truly an honor to welcome you to this important conversation. On behalf of the National Coalition of 100 Black Women Dallas Metropolitan Chapter, I thank each of you for being here and for your commitment to advancing equity, opportunity, and impact in our community. The National Coalition of 100 Black Women Incorporated was founded with a clear and powerful mission to advocate on behalf of Black women and girls and to promote leadership, development, and gender equity in the areas of education, health, and economic empowerment. Through our work, we strive to be a collective voice and a catalyst for sustainable change. Our Beyond the Check program tonight reflects that commitment. It challenges us to think beyond financial contributions and to invest in time, knowledge, access, and advocacy. True impact happens when we pair resources and relationships, when we show up, when we stay engaged, and when we help build systems that uplift and sustain our communities. Nationally, our organization continues to influence policy, elevate critical issues, and empower the next generation of leaders. Locally, our chapter remains focused on delivering programs that are intentional, measurable, and transformative. So tonight is about connection, collaboration, and commitment. It's about asking ourselves, how can we each go beyond the check and contribute in ways that create lasting change? Thank you again for being here and for your support and standing with us in this mission.
Thank you so much, Madam President. Co-Sister Erica, can you please take it from here?
Good evening, everyone. I would like to introduce Latanza. Latanza is a wealth transformation coach, speaker, and passionate advocate for economic empowerment. She is committed to helping women move from survival mode to stewardship by combining mindset renewal with practical financial education. Through her work, she empowers women to build assets, create multiple streams of income, and pursue generational wealth with confidence and purpose. As a founder of the Wealth Builder Circle, Latanza equips everyday women with the tools to budget intentionally, understand investing fundamentals, and apply wealth building strategies to support long term stability. Her approach goes beyond numbers, blending practical guidance with transformational thinking so women can break limiting beliefs about money and step boldly into ownership, legacy, and economic freedom. She is a published author and a community leader. Latanza has dedicated her platform to uplifting Black women and helping them recognize that wealth is both a responsibility and an opportunity. Her message is clear and powerful. When a woman's mindset changes, her money, her family, and her future can change as well. Welcome to the call tonight, Latanza.
Thank you so very much. I'm so honored to be here tonight with you all. I just pray that what God gives me for you will be for you. And so let me get started. I'm sharing my screen. So tonight we're talking about women and wealth beyond the paycheck. And this is something that I love to talk about because this is something that God has given me. Your paycheck is not your source. And that's something we need to all know, that your paycheck isn't your source. Your paycheck is a seed that funds your future, and it's the harvest. Your source is the vision and stewardship to grow it. And the main word I want you to get out of that is stewardship, because this is something that a lot of people don't really do, but need to do in order to gain in your wealth. Because living from paycheck to paycheck is something that we don't want to be in, but it's something that a lot of people are doing because they're not stewarding well over what they have. Resource versus source. A paycheck is a seed. It isn't the harvest. Don't confuse the seed, your money, with the soil, your capacity to create. So your resource and your source are two different entities. Your paycheck is the seed, it's not the harvest. Your paycheck helps you to get the seed in. It's kind of like planting a plant. You put the seed in, and your harvest is a plant that comes up. And so when you plant the seed, your harvest is going to come up. So that's what your paycheck is used for. And the cultivation growth, that's true, where the true wealth comes from. And we're going to get into this a little bit more. But planting resources, not just consuming them, it's about moving from earning your seed to sowing it. The purpose for stewardship. We steward money to serve purpose and legacy. Every dollar planted today should yield a return for tomorrow's mission. Now, this is from, you want to go from working for money to money working for you. And this is part of residual. I love residual income because I can go to sleep at night and I can wake up and have money that I did not have to work for, but because I'm doing it God's way and I'm stewarding over my money and I'm investing, I can wake up to money that I didn't even have to steward, watch over, or anything, but money just comes in. And so the first thing you need to, the stage is to earn. You're using your time and skills to generate active income. That's your foundation. Everybody has to have a foundation, even with when you're building a home. When you're building a home, it has to have a foundation. And that foundation has to be the correct foundation. No cracks, no nothing like that. Because the foundation is going to set the whole thing. It's going to set the sides, it's going to set the walls, it's going to set everything to this foundation. So your foundation is your time and your skills. The stage number 2 is manage. Directing every dollar with intention. budgeting as strategy. And I tell everybody that if you don't know where your money is going, you can't tell your money where to go. A lot of people aren't doing stewardship. They don't know where their money is going. They spend what they don't need to spend because of so a lot of people do emotional spending, and you're not managing it well. You're just spending, but you have to start managing your money well. You just have to start budgeting. Budgeting is a strategy that I have been using for years, and I can tell anybody budgeting works because I want to know where, down to the penny, where my money is going. And that way you can steward well, you can tell your money where to go, and you know where your money is going. You won't be surprised when you spend $500 and you don't know where that $500 went, but you are stewarding your money well. Stage 3 is to grow, allocating resources to assets that appreciate over time. This is part of the acceleration. You're going from the foundation to the
Excuse,
stewardship.
excuse me. I hate to interrupt, but Latanza, can you turn your camera on?
Oh,
Can't
I'm
see you.
sorry. I'm
That's
sorry.
okay. That's okay. Were you able to turn it on?
It's not on.
No.
Yes, we can. I can
Yes,
see
it
you.
is.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so the first thing was the foundation. The second stage is stewardship. The third stage is to grow. That's your acceleration. That's the acceleration time. And then we go to the last one, which is the goal state, the multiplication. That's with automation. The automating system and compounding returns. Money works for you. That's your freedom. And I tell people on the wealth building part, wealth to you or to me may be different. Wealth to somebody, wealth building may be $1 million. Wealth to somebody else may be another number. But it's not in the number, it's what you do with what you have. Because there are millionaires that are broke. There are people that are blue collar that are comfortable. It's what you do with what you have. That money for wealth building is freedom. Freedom to do the things that you want to do without having to strain or stress for it. So we're going to move from survival to stewardship. Survival thinking, these are things that are survival mode things, but we don't want to stay in the survival part. We don't want to have the survival thinking. We want to move over to the stewardship, the wealth builders, the people that know where their money is going. Money is an employee. Money is an employee. Give it a job description. What are you telling your money that you want? This is part of writing down everything. I have notebooks. I have things on my computer that I want to know exactly where my money is going. Investing consistently before expenses are paid. This is part of stewardship. A lot of people are scared of investing. You have to do it even if you're scared to do it. A lot of people say it's a risk to invest. That risk takers invest. You have to invest in order to see results. Choices align with vision, legacy, and 5-year goals. If you can't do a 5-year goal, do a 3-year goal, do a year goal, but do something. I always tell people if you do nothing, that's what you're going to get. If you have no target for anything, that's what you're going to have. But you have to do something in order to see something. Debt is minimized to free up capital for ownership. This is something also. Debt is something that you want to get rid of so that you can free money in order to have more. These are the 3 pillars of wealth. This is going beyond a paycheck. The first one is stewardship thinking. This is directing resources with intention, moving from a consumer mindset to a manager of capital. So this is the mindset, and I talk about the mindset a lot because you have to have a transformed mindset. In Romans 12:2, God tells us about transforming mindset, that we have to transform the mindset. You can't go to the new with the old. You can have somebody can come into wealth. They can come into a lot of money. But if they have the same mindset, sooner or later they're gonna still resemble what they left behind because they have that same old mindset. They have the same spending habits. They have the same old friends that are telling them about the broke times and all of this. You have to have a changed mindset in order to steward well, in order to think different. You have to start doing things different. The second thing is assets and ownership, acquiring what appreciates, shifting focus from income generation to asset accumulation. So it's part of the shifting part, the strategy. The third thing is generational wealth. I'm building generational wealth for my children's children, which I now have. I have a great G baby now. So I'm thinking about my grandbabies. I'm thinking about my great grandbabies. I'm blessed to have them, but I want them to have generational wealth. And so that's what I work toward now. So let that be part of your reason to do what you're doing, is to have generational wealth. And we're going to talk about that also, to have a legacy. But in building that legacy, you also want to enjoy it also. So this is protect, teach, and transfer, building a legacy that outlives you through values and estate planning. This is redefining your relationship with money. What it means, steward versus earner. An earner works for wages. A steward manages resources for impact, growth, and specific purpose. Consumer versus investor. It shift focus from what can I buy to what can I build. I tell people about delayed gratification. With delayed gratification, it doesn't mean that you can't have it. You just delay getting it until you can build to get that and more. A lot of people want everything, that Burger King mentality. I want it now and I want it my way. But if you want to build wealth, you can't just go out and buy in and everything. And a lot of people are doing things to look rich, but they're not rich. I don't want to look rich. I don't want to look wealthy. I don't want to look like I'm making it. I want to be that person that I am making it, that wealth building is there. That's what people get tripped up also. They get tripped up with social media. Social media will tell you all kind of things, that I got this and I got that, and they don't have it because they want to impress other people with things they don't have, or impress other people with things they can't afford. And that's not what you want to do either. So therefore, you also want to be a good steward, and you want to not say what I can buy, but what can I build? Start thinking that transform mindset. What can I build? What can I do with this $500? Am I going to use this $500 to go out and buy another purse? Or am I going to use this $500 to build wealth? Am I going to put it in REITs? Am I going to put it in some kind of other investment? Am I going to put it in a high yielding savings account? What am I going to do with this that can build money, that can, make more money for me? Because that purse isn't going to make more money for you, but that investment will. The practical moves is pay yourself first. In the paying yourself first, automatic savings, which I do, and investing before you pay bills. The paying yourself first, this money is for investing, this money is for your saving, this money is to put aside for things that you need. You track cash flow. Assign every dollar a job. Budgeting isn't restriction, it's telling your money where to go. And so on your budget, list everything that you have in your budget. I mean, everything. A lot of people don't list everything. List everything that you have in your budget so that you can track it, so that you know exactly what you have, when you need to have it, and where it's going to go, so that you won't have, a negative account or something like that. But you'll know exactly where it's going. Align with values. Ensure spending reflects your true priorities, not just social pressure. Social pressure will have you doing things that you shouldn't be doing. It'll have you spending money that you really don't have, or have you spending money that you were setting aside for something else. Don't allow pressure from social, the social places, Facebook, wherever. Don't allow that pressure to make you make decisions that aren't good for you. Stewardship in action. So these are the stewardships that we need to do. The first thing is budget as a tool. Like I said, budgeting is a freedom frame. Budgeting helps you to see, it's like a picture for you. It helps you to see exactly what you have and what you need to do. Your value-based spending. Cut the noise, stop spending on what society expects, and heavily fund what you value and prioritize. So these are things that I constantly tell people. Don't spend what you don't have, and don't spend what you have put aside for something else. Don't let society tell you what you need to spend. Don't let you compare yourself and make you want to do something. Multiple streams of income. Multiple streams of income is not having 5 and 6 jobs. It's having a stream off of the very thing that you're doing. If you are, I'll take me for an example. I love talking about finances. This is something that I do. I wrote books, so I get an income from that. I do speaking engagements. I got income from that. I do. I have a group that I have. I get income from that. What are the streams of income that you can do? So these are streams from one entity that it's like a tree with branches. I have branches from one tree. And so it's not about having 5 or 6 jobs. A lot of people believe that having multiple streams of income, you got to work 5 and 6 jobs. All it does is get you tired. You don't enjoy what you have. And it's an overload when you do that. Emergency fund. Have 3 to 6 months of emergency funds. Now I tell people to have at least 6 to 8 months of emergency funds. Have those funds set aside. And a lot of people say, well, I can't do that. Have at least $1,000 in an emergency fund. This is something that you can have if something comes up. I have an account just for an emergency fund that I'm building up that I don't touch. And that's a account that I have that's set aside for emergency fund. Another thing that you can do is automate everything. A lot of people don't like automation. I do. But if you automate everything, you don't have to worry about it being late. I automate things coming to my savings accounts. I automate it because I already know that it's coming out. I know when it's coming out. So therefore, I don't miss it. Have a money meeting. Have a board meeting with yourself. Sit down and strategize how you're going to do for the next month. I strategize how I'm going to do for the next day. I always strategize for how I'm going to do for the next month. What needs to come out. I also do as far as debt payments. I'm paying debt off. You do the smallest to the greatest. And so last year I paid off 7 bills. And that was an accomplishment. I did it, I strategized, and I overcame it. And after this year, I should be almost out of debt. So I thank God for that. You're going to create your budget strategy, the 50-30-20 rule. The 50%, now this right here is something that I do, but I do it after tithes and offering. So this is what's left out of that. This is 100% for me. So your needs, that's 50%. That's your housing, your utilities, groceries, everything that you need for your household, those things. Your wants, going out to eat, entertainment, your hobbies, subscriptions, stuff like that. That's your wants. That's 30%. And then you're going to take for your savings. That's your emergency fund, your investments, debt payoff, your retirement, things like that. Those are the 20% for you. how to track it. You can use apps. You can use. I do mine in a book. I also have a strategy online that I do. So these are things that you can implement into your life to have strategies for a budget. This is a wealth engine. So on the wealth engine, investment accounts, and this is also I'm teaching about REITs, which I won't go too much into because it's a lot to do, deal with REITs, but it's not hard. I promise you. Investment accounts, these are your 401ks. These are individual retirement, the Roth IRA, your traditional IRAs, the strategies, index funds. So this is the S&P 500s, those investment accounts. And then you got the real estate and REITs. It's the real estate investment trust companies. And this is something that I have for my grandbabies. I tell them you now own real estate. And so this is buying rental, flipping houses, all this that you don't have to go through a mortgage company or anything like that. But you own ownership in real estate when you do REITs. So I did it for my grandbabies. And so that's part of building their generational wealth also. Your business ownership. These are your side businesses, your franchising, investing. Those are your business ownerships that you can have. REITs, real estate without the hassle. What is REIT? REIT is real estate investment trust, companies that own income producing real estate like apartments, malls, offices, hotels, warehouses. These are things that you will have ownership in. The Galleria is one of them that has REITs. You earn money with properties, you generate rent. Getting started, you open up a brokerage. I use Vanguard and Schwab. You research the types of REITs that you can buy. You buy your first share, and then you automate after that to have money coming out so that you can have money to invest in the REITs. Why choose REITs? There's no management headaches. It's passive income. It's high liquidate. It's low barrier. It's instant diversification, and it's pro management. So these are the things. And it's easy to do. It's no hassle to do it, and you're gonna earn money off of it. Generational wealth starts with one decision. It starts where you are. It starts where you are. No amount is too small to begin building. So a lot of people think that I can't invest because I don't have a lot of money. $10. Start where you are and build from there. Educate yourself. I tell everybody, educate yourself on the things that you want to invest in. Educate yourself on all kind of the financial aspects of things. Take action. Open accounts and make your first investment. Stay consistent. These are things that I have to have consistent in it. You have to stay consistent in the very things that you're doing, whether it's budgeting, whether it's investing, whatever it is, stay consistent. That is the key to building wealth, staying consistent. Diversity, spread investments across different asset types. So diversify. Don't just put it in one thing, put it in a couple of things. I have, I think, 5. So diversify. Think long term. A lot of people are thinking short term. They're not thinking long term. So think long term. And this is part of building wealth. This is part of building generational wealth. This is part of you being free to do the things that you want to do without the headache, without, even opening up your checking account nervous. These are things that you can do to start building wealth now so that you can enjoy later. And this is part of delayed gratification. So you, the first generation, build financial literacy and start investing. The second generation inherit knowledge and assets to build upon. The third generation expands and stores generational wealth. So this is breaking down your cycle. And this is so important to me because I have that third generation. So, I want to see more for them. And I know you want to see more for your children's children. Asset building strategies. Stock market investments, these are things that you can do. Business ownerships, that's part of the LLCs. Real estate, again, you can do REITs with real estate. IP and professional skills, creating products, digital products. These are things that people need, people purchase, the courses, the ebooks, those things that you can do to create residual income. These are some things that are simple and that people want to, you can reach a lot of people doing courses. You can reach a lot of people doing ebooks. These are things that people desire to have. Building a lasting legacy. This is passing forward values, knowledge, and a connection, not just assets. What it includes beyond money. True generational wealth includes financial literacy, family values, professional networks, and the social capital to navigate the world. Breaking the cycles, it creates a new starting line for the next generation, freeing them from survival mode to focus on impact. These are things, if somebody tells you, or if you say, well, nobody's ever done it, well, you be the first one. Be the first one in your family. Be the first one to break the cycle. Be the first one to do the very things that you knew that your family could have done, or that your family say that they could never do. You be the first one to do it. Don't allow what has gone on to your family. Don't allow that to stop you from gaining the financial freedom that you desire, the wealth building that you desire, because it does, where you come from does not matter. It's where you are and what you decide for yourself that you desire. And like I said, it's a mindset shift. You have to shift your mindset. I had to shift my mindset from where I came from. I had to shift my mindset from the things that we didn't have when we grew up. That wasn't the life that I wanted. And so now I'm building the life that I desire. And I want to see even more from my children's children. How to build it, you teach money skills, involve children in the financial conversations. This is something that I do. Protect the assets, use life insurance and estate plans. This is so very important because a lot of people do not do this. They don't leave life insurance. They don't leave an estate plan, and people are fussing and going to court over all kind of stuff. Have everything documented. And these are some things that we don't like to think about, but some things that we need to think about. And this is part of legacies. Write a family mission statement to guide future generations. Create opportunity. Transfer ownership, businesses, real estate that generate income rather than just cash that can be spent. So we can leave them money, but what else can you leave your children? What can you tell them now while you're still here? We need to impart into them financial wisdom. We need to impart into them wisdom that they can take with them, not just money, because if you just leave them their money with no instruction, with no structure, with no wisdom, with no knowledge of what to do with it, it's going to be wasted. I've seen it too many times where people are leaving their children an astronomical amount of money and they go out and blow it because they have no structure. They don't know about being a good steward of the money. They just see all this money and they just go blow it. And so our children need structure. They need to know about stewardship. They need to know how to spend, how to save, how to build, because you can live off the interest of money. they need to know that too. You don't have to go out and spend it on everybody and everything. And that's what a lot of people do. A lot of people are attracted to you by what you have. And you got to watch those kind of people too, because you don't want people to gravitate to you because of what you have, but you want to be a good steward, not just a good steward, but be wise in even the people that surround you. You want to aligning faith and finances. And this is for me, and this is like um, something that I cannot separate myself from is my faith and finances, because in Deuteronomy 8:18, God tells us that it is He that gives us the power to get wealth. So if it's God that gives me the power to get wealth, then that's who's going to help me to strategize. That's going to help me to navigate to the very things that I need to do in order to get to the place that I desire to get to. So stewardship as spiritual practice, viewing money management not as a chore, but as a faithful act of faithfulness and responsibility. And so faithfulness is something that we all need to have. Be faithful. God tells us to be faithful in the little, and He make you ruler over much. What are you doing with what you have now? You know, a lot of people are saying that I don't have enough money. I don't have enough of this. I don't have enough. What are you really doing? If we can sit down and strategize, and I can show you exactly where you're missing it at, exactly where you're spending too much over here and not enough, and you're not taking care of what's right here. I see it all the time. I had someone to come to me, and they had got a large amount of money, and they told me exactly what they needed to do, but they didn't do what they needed to do, but they spent it on things that was not going to help them to gain. And the things that they needed to do were left undone. So we need to be good stewards over what we have. Intentional giving, budgeting for generosity, where the tithing or charitable giving ensures money flows outward to bless others. It's all about strategy. It's all about stewardship. It's all about faithfulness. And it's also all about the reason why you want it, the reason why you're doing it. I don't do it for selfish gain. I want to help other people. And a lot of times money is not the thing to help other people, because I tell people the story of going fishing. I can go fishing and give you all my fish, but if I never teach you how to fish, I'm not doing you a justice. But if I take the time to show you how to fish, you won't ever run out because you can fish on your own. But there are some people that don't want to learn how to fish. They just want to take all of yours. And so that's why you also have to be wise. You also have to be a good steward. Being part of being a good steward is sometimes saying no. That's part of being a good steward also, saying no. And no is a whole sentence. Values guided decision, letting your core beliefs dictate your spending and investing, filtering our consumer noise. And so being a good steward, letting your core beliefs dictate your spending and investing. What are your beliefs? What do you want to have? It's all about you. Your beliefs, the reason why you're doing something is different from mine, and it may be different from the person beside you. But no matter what it is, just do it. Rest and boundaries. Practice the Sabbath, which I do, and financial boundaries prevents burnout. A lot of people work, 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 and I was guilty of this, of overworking and just building, staying up to 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning and doing all this stuff. And my body started telling me, girl, we need to take a break. We need to get some rest. So that is part of wealth building, is to get rest, have boundaries. You don't want to burn out building. You don't want to burn out. So get you some rest. That's what I had to start doing, even though, I lay in that bed sometimes and stuff still going in my head, and I have to still write it down though, but get you some rest. Your practical steps to start today is to assess, list all your incomes, your expenses, your debts, and assets. These are things that you need to assess for yourself. Define, create your 12 to 36 month vision. In Habakkuk, God tells us to write the vision and make it plain. What is your vision for your life? What is your vision for your finances? What number? Put a number on it. I tell people, put a number on it. I ask you, what does it mean to be wealthy to you? How much would it take to be wealthy for you? I don't know, just a lot of money. What's a lot of money? $100, $1,000. Put a number on it. Put a number on it tonight. What is it that will define your wealth? What is it that define the place that you want to go? What is the vision that you want to have for the next 12 to 36 months for your life? Is it to be debt free? Is it to build wealth to double your income for this year? What is it that you have a vision for your life? I know we do vision boards, and that's all good, but don't let that vision board sit on the stand, sit on your wall, or whatever you're writing down. Don't let it just sit on a piece of paper. But the vision is supposed to be written down to come to pass. Write the vision and make it plain. So if you write it, you make it plain. Now what we're going to do with it? Now we got a plan. You got to have a plan of action. Plans take action, right? So you build your system, a zero-based budget, automated transfers, asset allocation strategy. These are the plans. If you have a plan of action, now you got to act on it. So you assess it, you define it, you plan it, and now we're finna act on this thing so we can see it come to pass, okay? So your knowledge requires execution. Execution is the very thing that's gonna get you from paycheck to your wealthy place. Execution. It's not sitting on the couch. It's not waiting till somebody knock on the door and say, I got something for you. You have to go do it yourself. Execution. It's not going to land in your lap like on the movies and stuff. You have to do something. And that something is to assess it, define it, plan it, act on it. So you're going to take action within the next 7 days. And it starts today to start acting on the very thing that you desire. Stop saying, I'm going to do it one day. Stop saying, well, I'll do it maybe next week. No, do it now. Start today saying, I'm going to start today. I'm not going to keep saying that I'm going to do it later. I'm not going to keep saying, well, I don't have enough. If you got $10, you can do it. Well, I don't have $10. I bet you do. I bet you do. If you don't go eat that sandwich tomorrow from Burger King, I bet you'll have $10. We have to start not just saying we don't have, but what do we have? Where can we stop doing? What can we stop doing in order to start doing? That, a lot of people are not seeing the big picture. And the big picture is sometimes we're spending $60 a week or more going out to eat. And you're steadily saying, I don't have enough to invest. That's your investment right there. We have to start acting on it. I started eating at home. And I might go out to eat 1 or 2 times a month because I'm working on something. And when you're working on something, it's part of sacrificing. That's another word that people don't like, sacrificing. There are things that you have to sacrifice in order to get to that place that you want to go to. And part of that sacrifice for me was I don't go out to eat like I used to. So action. We're going to take action. These are the common barriers. These are things that keep people in the same place that you were last year, 5 years ago, 10 years ago. If you know people that are in the same spot that they were in last year or 2 years ago, this is part of the reason. And if you want to stop looking like you did last year or last month or last week, then you need to start doing these things or not doing these things. I don't make enough money. I've told you that. You can just start with $1, start with $5, start somewhere. Another thing people say is, I don't know where to start. You strategize, build a foundation, budget to track your money. Start there, start with the budget. These are practical things. Practice daily gratification. Start with one financial goal, just one. What is one financial goal that you can set? Start with that. I have too much debt. This is something that I used to say too. I got too much debt because I was looking at everything. And I'm gonna tell you, if you got a lot of debt, don't look at all the numbers. Don't do that. I started looking at one thing, and then I looked at the next thing, and then I looked at the next thing. I looked at the smaller number. I said, okay, I can do that. See, when I started looking at one instead of all of them, I started seeing what I can do and stopped seeing what I can't do. I knocked out can't and put I can. And when I said I can, that's when the debt started deleting. That's when I just started paying them off. I just started paying them off. And I paid them off within 4 months. And it wasn't a small number. It was like, I think it was $4,000. I just started paying them off. And it was a strategy because I had to access it, I defined it, and I took action. So don't say I have too much debt. Just start strategizing. Choose the avalanche. I use the snowball method. That's the one I use. It's too late for me. You don't know how old I am. You don't know. It's just too late for me. Let me tell you about being too late. It's not too late for you. It's not. Christian Dior started at 41 years old. The founder of Adidas started at 48. The founder of E-Trade, Mr. Porter started at 63. And we all know about Colonel Sanders, KFC. He started at 62. Colonel Sanders started Kentucky Fried Chicken. He was retiring. And he saw how much money he was not going to have no more. And it depressed him. This man didn't even want to live no more. And somebody tried his chicken. And he started a whole chicken place because he did not want what the number that they were giving him. He was not going to take that. And that's something that we need to do. Don't sit there and say, okay, this is all I'm going to have. No, that's not all you're going to have. You take authority over that. And you say, no, this is not all I'm going to have. And you put a number that you are going to have. And that's what you're going to work toward. Because my number is bigger than this year. I had a goal that a couple of years ago, and I met that goal, and I superseded it last year, and I'm gonna supersede it this year because it's gonna double. Why is it gonna double? Because I say it's gonna double, and I'm gonna act on it. So that's what you're gonna do too. Another person is, let me give you one more. McDonald's, the founder of McDonald's, he started at 52. So don't say it's too late. It's not too late for you. It's not. The only time it's too late for you is when you never do it. That's when it's too late for you. The only time it's too late for you is when you sit there and you say, I can't. That's when it's too late for you. But when you start saying, you know what? I can do this thing. I don't care. Age does not determine your calling. Age does not determine how your wealth building. Age does not determine that. You do. You determine that. And if you're going to sit there and say it's too late for you, then it's going to be too late for you. But when you start changing your mindset and start saying, you know what, it ain't too late for me. I can do this thing. And stop looking at the people that's doing it. You do it too. I'm afraid to invest. Do it afraid. Do it afraid. It's okay to do it afraid. Just do it. The greatest risk takers are the highest paid multimillionaires. They took risks. It's a person that he lives an hour away from me. He is 33 years old. He took a risk a couple of years ago with an investment, and he put all his money up in there. I think it was like 30,000. Put his money up in there. It hit for him. He retired last year. He retired with over $1 million from that one investment. Do it scared. Invest. Do it scared. You have to learn to do things, not be scared to do it. A lot of people are scared to invest. A lot of people say, well, I don't know nothing about it. Learn. Take classes, take courses, whatever you need to do, but don't do nothing. If you don't have anything to aim for, you're never going to hit anything. If you don't have any kind of vision, you're never ever going to hit anything. Have a vision. Past this vision. Don't determine what you get with this vision. Have a vision, not the vision, because this is a limited vision. Your eyesight. This is a limited vision. Your eyesight is telling you what you have in your surroundings. Your eyesight will only tell you, girl, you can't do it because you got this, this, and this. But your vision will tell you, girl, there's no limitation, so we can do. Because we finna do this thing. We're not gonna live paycheck to paycheck. Our paycheck is not gonna determine where we go or where we don't go. Because our paycheck is a seed that's gonna get me to where I need to go. That's what you're finna do. The average millionaire is 53 years old. The average millionaire is 53 years old. What is our excuse? We have none. The only excuse that you have is the excuse that you make. And excuses are the very thing that will exit you out of executing the very thing that you need to do. That's what they would do. I stopped using excuses and I started executing so that I can get to the wealthy place that I desire to be. Am I going to get there? Yes, I am. Why am I going to get there? Because I believe I am. Why am I going to get there? Because I changed my mindset about how I determine how I'm going to get there, how I think about money. I had to change my mindset about a lot of things about money. But when I changed my mindset about it, when I gathered the information and transformed my mindset, I had to start thinking differently. I had to have a different circle around me. I had to start talking different because the places that God is going to take you to, you're going to have to transform. You're going to have a different mindset. You're going to be in different rooms that you're going to be in. You're going to, the investments that you're going to do, those things, you're going to have to learn different language. The wealthy mindset shift. I love this right here because I love talking about the mind. It is just so awesome to me to talk about the mind, the mindset shift. True wealth isn't just about what you make, it's about how you think. Let me tell you something about how you think. Your thoughts do not know when your mouth is playing. Your thoughts listen to your words. So when you say I'm wealthy, when you say I can, when you say those things, your mind is saying, "Oh, let's get this thing going." But when you speak negative things, your mind is going to listen to that. So what are we going to do? We're going to shift our mindset from negative to positive. We're going to shift our mindset and our thinking and our words. Those are the things that you need to do. Shift your mindset, shift the words that you're saying, and you're going to see different results. Sometimes the things that we keep seeing are because we're saying the same thing. If you start saying something different, you're going to see something different. Abundance over scarcity. Focus on opportunities and growth. Long term over short term. Delayed gratification. Compound gains. I love that word compound. Strategies over reactive. Plan, automate, review. Ownership over consumption. Buy assets, not just things. Things won't last like assets will. Growth mindset, learn, adapt, and iterate. These are the things that unlock your potential. These are the things that are going to get you to the place you need to be. I can't stress enough to change your mindset, change the way you're thinking about it, because somebody can come up to you tomorrow and give you $100,000. Praise God, you got $100,000. And if you don't have the mindset, I can invest it. What can I do to help it grow? What can I do with this? Well, how do I need to do this? If you're not doing those things and all you're thinking about is what you can buy with it, your mindset isn't shift. Because that kind of mindset, I hate to say it, but it's a poverty mindset. A poverty mindset, when it gets money, it want to spend it. A wealthy mindset, when it get money, it strategize, sit down and say, what do I need to do with it? So we need to shift. Your wealth transformation journey. Small steps, consistency, action compound over time. Community, you don't walk alone. Accountability partners. I love the group that I have, the Wealth Builders Circle. It's a community. Celebrate and reset. Acknowledge every win, review your stewardship plan quarterly, and adjust your course. These are so important to do. Stop working for money, let money work for you, and that's where you're about to get to. Strategy, automation, accountability. That word accountability, a lot of people don't want to hold themselves accountable for anything. But hold yourself accountable. Have the monthly meeting. Get strategy. Hold yourself accountable. Get your accountability partner. And last but not least, this is the worst transformation books that I have written this year. Tonight only, you can get it for $40. This is the Grow Wealth Without Going Broke, The Wealthy Mind, Wealthy Life, and the last one is a 60-day journal, Wealth Mind Renewal Journal. So I pray that you enjoyed this and that you got something out of it.
Thank you so much, Madam Latanza. Now we'll open the floor for questions. If you guys would like to, feel free to raise your hands. I'll scroll as quickly as I can to see who's interested in asking a question. If you do not want to engage verbally, then feel free to type your questions in and we will read them out for you. So here we go. Let's see who's first. Well, I know we have a question in the chat. At what age should we start including our children in financial conversations? And what suggestions do you have to start conversations regarding financial and generational wealth with preteens and teens?
Okay, so the earlier the better. Kids as young as 5 can understand money. It's how you teach them, though. Teach them on their level. A 5-year-old can get the concept of money. I do work with teens to help them understand the concept of money, how to spend it, how to save, how to invest. It's so important to get with your teens, to get with them, to help them to understand it, because if you're always giving them money, they're not going to know the value of money. They're not going to know the value of equipping them for their future. It was an 8-year-old that was started with Reds. No, she was 8 years old, started her with Reds. And she was taught about Reds, what it is. And she really didn't understand at that time, but over time she did. And her money has accumulated to 6 figures. And she's just a teenager. So include them in it, even in the budget. Show them how to budget with the budget that you do. Include them in the daily activities of the family so that they can understand the money. Just don't leave them out. Just include them in it. You're muted.
You didn't hear all that goodness? So what's the difference between a high yield account and a Roth IRA account?
A high yield account and a Roth IRA. With the high yielding account, first of all, if you have a regular savings account, it'll gain you 0.0 something percent. But with a high yielding account, you're going to have at least, I think one of mine is 4 point something percent. So you want to roll your money to a high yielding savings account. A Roth IRA, that is, for you're building up for your years that you're going to have, So a Roth IRA is building for this is a long term. This is your long term investment with a Roth IRA. So this is money that you're putting in to have as when you turn, instead of depending on a Social Security check, that you can depend on that. And it grows. It grows so much with a Roth IRA.
Are there any other questions? Okay, the next one, I'm going to be 60 next month and would like to know the best investment strategy for retirement for the next 3 to 5 years.
For the next 3 to 5 years,
Mhm.
for me, I would get into rents. That is something that you really, really want to do. If you want more information, I'll be more than happy to help you out with that. But open a brokerage account with, I use Vanguard. Open up your brokerage account with Vanguard. I have a whole list of wonderful investments that you can do on there. And I attest that your money does grow with it. What happens is the companies, whether it's a mall or apartments or whatever, they have to have 90. They give 90% to investors. You are an investor of the property, and so you put money into it, and you can. It's some that you can put in $10, $20. It doesn't take a whole lot, but you build over time. But I would definitely do a REIT. I would get into REITs.
Okay, another question. What is the margin of safety or the primary risk that could cause any investment to fail?
There's always a risk. There's always a risk with investment. There's no way around it. It's always a risk. I can say with REITs, you are gonna make money with REITs. I also do crypto. We know crypto will be up here today and down here tomorrow. But I can say when it goes down, that's your happy time. And people get scared when it go down, but that's my real happy time. That's when I just get in there and get some more, get it. Because when it go up, now you got more to in there with it. So don't be scared. No matter the risk, don't get scared. Don't allow it to scare you away. I remember when they first started going down, I didn't really know about them. Like, look, am I losing money? No. When it go down, that's when you want to invest. So yeah, regardless of the risk, I would tell you, do it. Just do it.
Okay, do we have any more questions?
Yes, Gloria has her hand raised.
Hi, I wanted to thank you all, and Latanza, thank you all so much for the information. This is more of a comment. One of the things that you talked about was, setting up that generational wealth through like a trust, right, and kind of preparing for your passing. I work in human resources, and one of the things that I wanted to share with the broader audience is that a lot of people don't know at their companies there are benefits offered through an aspect called healthy money, right, where you pay like a very small amount out of your check. We're talking about anywhere between $10 to $15 per paycheck for that year when you enroll in open enrollment. And you can actually utilize that to set up that living trust that Latanza was talking about. My husband and I did ours 2 years ago, and the only thing that we had to pay for was the fee for the notary to do our paperwork, right? And outside of that, $10 per check that was coming out of my check for that year. So I just wanted to share that with the broader group, that is something that, depending on the company that you work at and the benefits that they offer, that is something that you can also get started on.
Okay, thank you for that. And we have one last question. What are the best types of investments for a diverse portfolio?
It depends on which one you're in. Which one does she want to talk about?
Darielle, do you want to come off of mute and
Yes, I just wanted to know what are the different types as far as across the board. Would you recommend like retail, or would you recommend retail along with a RET? Like, so could you name just a few to have a diversified portfolio that you would recommend?
Yeah, I can actually put up some for rents, if you want, if that's what you are wanting.
Yes. Thank you
Okay,
so very kindly.
you're welcome. Let me pull up something for rents for you. I had a whole list of them. Just 1 second. Okay, one that I can tell you, these are high dividend REITs, which high dividend REITs are awesome because it yields more of a return for you. One of I do real estate a lot with rents, real estate as far as apartments. Also, part owner in malls. Those right there are very good to have. And it's some more that I also do. But I'm just going to give you these. But if you would inbox me or email me, I will get you a whole list for you. One is the ANG. It's ANG and G. And these are for investment properties. Another one is ABR, and this is realty. So these are all for real estate. I'll give you one more. This one is for rental properties. This one is INVH. And I'm going to give you this PSA. That's public storage. You know, everybody needs storage buildings. So this is public storage. And let's see. Yeah. But I have a whole list written down that I will be glad to give you.
Well, we would like to thank you so much. You dropped so many gems tonight, talking about RITs, talking about generational wealth, getting our mindset right, making sure we develop a strategy for our money, automation for investment, automation for savings. So many gems you dropped tonight. So we want to thank you on behalf of our president, Dr. Katrina Pulliam, our first vice president, Keisha Dillard, Lisa McGee, economic empowerment chair, and the entire committee. We are sincerely thankful to you, Latanza, for spending your time with us and giving us the informative presentation that you shared regarding your knowledge and your expertise. So we greatly appreciate your time tonight. I am going to turn it over to our first VP, Keisha Dillard. Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much, Ms. Latanya. That was great information. So what are next steps? The next steps are I want to, your paycheck is only the starting point, not the destination. Wealth is built through intentional decisions and consistent action, which is what we learned here tonight. Consistent action or just action, right? So that's awesome. We encourage each of you to take one step this week. Start investing, review your budget, or learn a new wealth building strategy. Generational wealth doesn't happen overnight, but it does begin with one decision. Let today be the moment you move beyond the paycheck and toward building lasting wealth. We invite you to connect with us and follow us on social media to learn more about our upcoming programs. First up, coming up on March 28th, we have the Power of Yes. So join us on Saturday, March 28th. We will be at 10 a.m. We will be at the Southwest Transplant Alliance at their Legacy Center. So please go out there and register this event. will be educating us on transplant opportunities, which is huge and a huge need in the African American community. So this is an awesome opportunity to learn more about transplantation and what is needed out there. Next on April 8th, we have Bridging the Gap, Advancing Autism Advocacy in the African American Community. That's coming up on April 8th. And then May 3rd will be our signature event. So please come and join us for Derby Days. This is where we raise funds for our scholarship program, and we would love for you to come out and have a fabulous time with us while we raise money. So we'll be partying with a purpose. So we'd love for you to come out and join us. So thank you for being here tonight, and we'll see you at the next program or the next event. Thank you so much, everybody.